Hi, my name is KJ. I'm an interior designer, and today's video is about taking you through the design process of a compact bedroom in a Mumbai apartment. Now, this bedroom is one of the 4 bedrooms that were created by merging 2 adjacent 1 BHKs, ultimately creating a 4 BHK. If you've missed the previous video, I have covered the living room design of the same combined apartment, and I'll leave a link in the description for you to check it out. But today, let's focus on the bedroom design and let me give you a tour of the layout. For this bedroom, our client's brief was to include a sleeping area, obviously, a spot for watching TV, a wardrobe space, and also a study area. As for the design, it was important to make sure that the bedroom has its own vibe while still blending well with the living room's aesthetic. So without further ado, let's dive into the process of this bedroom design. So when it comes to planning any space, I always start figuring out where the biggest piece of furniture is going to go, and that's usually the bed in the bedroom. As per the client's preference, I put in a 5x6 bed and placed it against the widest wall in the room. Once you've got the bed in place, you can get a better idea of how much space you have left to work with. Typically, a wardrobe needs to be about 2 feet deep. So the only wall we can put it is against this one. Oh, and don't forget, you need at least 2 feet of clearance between the bed and the wardrobe. So we've got the bed and the wardrobe all figured out and spaced out nicely with sufficient clearance between them. Now on the other side, we've got about 3 feet 1 inches of width to work with. Except 6 inches of that will be taken up by the curtains. So we are left with about 2 feet 7 inches, which is just enough for a study table. Now, if it were up to me, I would really love to throw in some bedside tables, but the clients were really set on fitting in study table because during the pandemic, they felt a lack of private study areas in their previous apartment, which by the way was much smaller than this. In case you missed it, we already created a bedroom space for their son in the living room, which includes a study unit, and there's also a dining table that can double up as a study area. So I tried to explain to our clients that adding a study table in the bedroom might be a little too much, given that the pandemic is winding down and everyone is not working or schooling from home anymore. But they insisted that having separate study areas was important for their privacy, just in case they need to work or school from home again. Since this is a compact Mumbai bedroom, after I put in the study table, there was not enough space left for me to add any statement pieces like cozy bedside tables. But at the end of the day, it's their home and they are the best judges of their requirements. So when you have to choose between functionality and aesthetics, it's important to prioritize your needs and make the best use of the space. Anyway, my advice would be to find a corner for the study area in the living room or other areas and only resort to adding a study table in the bedroom if there's no other option. But if you're in a similar situation and you need some creative ideas of how you can do it, then keep watching the video. The study table is going to be pretty close to the bed headboard. I'm a little concerned that it won't leave enough room for either the headboard or the study table to stand out visually. They're just too close to each other. So my solution is to merge the design of the study table and the headboard together by extending the headboard beyond the width of the bed and using the same materials for both. Oh, and another thing I'll do is ensure that the legs of the study table aren't separate, independent, thin legs, but a side panel instead. This is important because you don't want to see the underside of the table the first thing when you wake up. Now, since this is a compact bedroom, it goes without saying that you need to make use of every inch of space that's available. So when you look at the space in front of the bed, you have a 2 feet 8 inches passage in front of the bed. So I thought let's leave the typical 2 feet for circulation and use the remaining 8 inches for a TV ledge and storage on either sides. There's also a column here, and this offset gives you a 5 inches extra which means the storage on the right can be 13 inches depth in all. I'm thinking this unit in particular can be a library unit since it's got the depth and it's quite close to the study table. The one on the left of the TV is 8 inches deep and can be used as a dresser cabinet or for storing medicines, etc. So these days, most TVs come with built-in smart features, so set-top boxes are becoming less common. However, if you have an audio system with a controller console or if you have a gaming console like PS, then you would need a proper console unit with some extra storage. But for most people, having a larger console unit is only necessary in the living room, not so much in the bedroom. And this particular bedroom is already pretty tight, so fitting in a regular sized console unit is going to be very difficult anyway. That's why a simple thin ledge like this for keeping your remote or a couple of accessories should be sufficient. So simple design choices like this can really save in those precious inches in a compact bedroom, and so it's best to not underestimate the power of simple design choices. So in this case, our clients were also pretty okay with having a thin ledge under the TV, but I would like to know if this is the case for most of y'all as well. So please share your preference in the comments and tell me, would you rather prefer a simple thin ledge under the TV or would you prefer a large console unit in the bedroom? Moving on, to make this otherwise plain straight ledge more interesting, you can add a cute little scalloped edge detail to give it a vintage charm, and it also ties back to some of the details we've done in the living area. This helps establish a flow between the different spaces of the same apartment, making it feel cohesive and thoughtfully designed. So what do you guys think of this detail? Personally, I'm a big fan of mixing old and the new, which is why I've suggested this detail, and I absolutely love how their curves contrast with the clean lines of the cabinetry. It's amazing how a small detail like a scalloped edge can make so much of a difference in the overall feel and personality of the space, and it's these small details that can really take a room from basic and boring to unique and charming. In the end, it's all about the attention to detail and the willingness to add special touches that can make your home feel very special. Let's talk about the materials. I thought of putting in engineered wood flooring in the bedroom because it instantly adds a lot of warmth to the space. The wood tone on the doors or the furniture is same as that of the living room, so that there is consistency in the tone of wood used throughout the apartment. Now let's move on to the headboard and the study table. As I mentioned earlier, using the same material for both of them is a great idea. I also think adding a pop of color would be nice, like a lighter shade of teal. If you've watched my previous video on the living room design, you'll notice that a darker shade of teal was used on the banquet seat, but not too much elsewhere. So using it on the headboard and the study table will instantly bring a unique touch to the bedroom. To add that special touch of elegance to the headboard, I thought let's add an arch above the headboard and put in a wallpaper inside the arch. Luckily, I found this perfect wallpaper from Asian Paints, which isn't too much of a contrast with the headboard in terms of color, and in my opinion, it's quite an interesting print with all the birds in it, and plus there's a nice mix of colors in there, and it would be safe to say that it makes up for a nice piece of art above the headboard. The other thing is limiting the use of the number of different colors and materials used in a compact space, which is key to making a space clutter-free. I went for white curtains, so I'm not introducing too many colors in the space. I thought it would be best to keep the walls and the ceilings neutral, just like we did in the living room, so that the beams, bulkheads and high wall AC and the panel behind the AC all blend in and reduce the visual clutter. Playing with the tones of the same color, I used the blue Odger chair from IKEA for a tone-on-tone effect, which has a sleek silhouette and adds a modern touch to the space. So in a small space like this bedroom, it's important that the storage units don't stand out too much. That is why I chose a neutral color like taupe for the tall units so that they blend in like a wall and don't feel too jarring. The wardrobe in particular has a lot of volume and could easily overpower the room if it was made of a heavy material like wood. So instead, I opted for the same taupe color to keep it subtle and understated. Let's not overlook the finer details like the choice of the hardware finish. I personally avoid mixing different metal colors in a single room. In the living area, we've exclusively used black metal, but that doesn't mean we can't introduce a new metal like a brushed gold in the bedroom. With the exception of the bedroom door handle, which must be black to match the one in the living room, we can incorporate gold for everything else in the room. I find that black and gold complement each other quite nicely, so that shouldn't be a problem. So in conclusion, this bedroom has its own material palette, which kind of distinguishes itself as a separate space in the apartment. However, if you were to put it alongside the material palette of other spaces in the apartment, such as the living room, then it still manages to complement it. And this is how you can establish a seamless flow throughout the entire apartment. So that's about it for this video. I hope you found the bedroom design ideas helpful, and don't forget to let me know in the comments below if there's something specific that you liked. And thank you for tuning in, and until next time, take care.